has had a major impact on the federal public defender's office on Guam.
We're being inordinately hit. The sequestration should be approximately 4.7% budget rate or budget cut across the board. However, this year we're slated to receive a 23% decrease in funds.
Federal Public Defender John Gorman says this fiscal year the office may do with less, 11% less.
During this year, we were able to make cuts, eliminate all travel, eliminate all training budget. So we're cutting away what little fat we did have and serious muscle. When you get into fiscal year 2014, starting October 1st, a 23% cut means you're not cutting into fat anymore or even muscle. You're lopping off limbs, and it really calls into question the viability of our organization.
Gorman says the problem lies in the fact that the U.S. Attorney's Office nationwide is slated to receive a $79 million increase in funding next fiscal year. He says both sides should be comparable.
So when you see them getting a large increase and the federal defenders getting a huge decrease, that poses serious questions about our system of justice, and it goes really to the foundation of our system of justice, which is adversarial. Both sides should be funded somewhat fairly.
With only 6 people in the Guam office, Gorman says a 23% cut would mean letting go of more staff.
When you cut 2 to 3 people from a 6-person office, you're basically decimating our organization. The cuts are dire.
If the cuts go through, the office on Guam will be left with only 2 attorneys and 2 staff with no investigative or computer assistance, greatly hampering their ability to represent criminal defendants.
It goes towards the effective representation of clients. So at some point, you'd have to consider the viability of the office when, if you cannot provide effective, zealous representation, then what would be the point of the office?
More than 80 chief judges across the nation, including Guam's District Court Chief Judge Francis Tidinko Gatewood, have submitted their concerns regarding the cuts in hopes lawmakers in Washington will do what it takes to stave off the cuts. Considered by many as the crown jewel of indigent defense, Gorman says it's disheartening to see that being dismantled, especially this being the 50th anniversary of Gideon versus Wainwright, which actually started indigent defense. While the office has been around on Guam for a decade, Gorman says closure of the office would not be any more cost-effective, as the costs of representing criminal clients would then be handled by the private bar.
We're hopeful, we're fighting.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Indy.